anthem.
Nasarawa, the land of our pride, home of solid minerals, rich in culture and agriculture. Though we differ in tongues, we are undivided and steadfast. A land our forefathers strived for in hard work and dedication of our great heroes. A legacy we shall cherish forever. A land of promise we thrive. Nasarawa, where our treasured heritage flows, we shall go from strength to strength, till many generations to come. Our pride, passion, and loyalty lies in peace and unity. Nasarawa, stay together. We can move mountains. In God we trust, we are blessed.
The full Lafia anthem.
Members of the University Governing Council here present, principal officers of the university, former principal officers of the university here present, the inaugural lecturer, chairperson of the inaugural lecture committee of the university, provost of the colleges of medicine and postgraduate studies, our respected deans and directors of the university, distinguished members of the Senate of Federal University of Lafia, senior deputy registrars, Your Royal Highnesses, emirs and chiefs, family members, friends and associates of the inaugural lecturer, heads of security agencies here present, our esteemed guests, senior teaching and non-teaching staff of the university, staff and students of Federal University of Lafia, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you all to the 21st inaugural lecture of the Federal University of Lafia. This afternoon, we are delighted to have Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba, a professor of industrial chemistry, who will deliver today's prestigious lecture. We extend our sincere appreciation to our guests who have traveled far and near to be part of this occasion. We thank you for coming. My name is Paulinus Auta. I will serve as your MC for this event. May I, on this note, invite all of us here to use a moment to pray silently according to our different faiths for a successful inaugural lecture. Who is the Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Lafia, Professor Shehu Abdul Rahman. I would like to acknowledge a member of the Governing Council of the University who is here. We welcome Alhaji Ahmed Esule. We welcome you, sir. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs. We have also the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Administration, Professor Ali Shakshugaba. We welcome the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Research and Partnerships of the University, Professor Zamela Usman Takes. We recognize the presence of the Bossa of the University, Mr. Daniel Wilson. We have here the University Librarian, Professor Abiodun Yoro. We recognize the presence of the Chairperson of the Inaugural Lecture Committee, Professor Josephine Odi. We acknowledge the presence of the University Auditor, Professor Ilemuna Adufu. And of course, our inaugural lecturer for today, Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba. We recognize the Vice Chancellor Administration. We'd like to welcome all the presence of members of the University Senate. We welcome you. This Vice Chancellor permits me to especially acknowledge the head of history and research, Bauchi Immediate Council. We recognize President of His Royal Highness Alhaji Aliyu Benjiwa Obili Orome, the Osuko of Obi. We would like to recognize the presence of His Royal Highness Mr. Martin Shadas, the Longo Mayor Kingdom, represented by Alhaji Yakubu Mutman, the Longo Kingdom. We have Honorable Justice Umar Ibrahim, the Grand Kadi of Plateau State. We acknowledge the presence of Mohammed Lafia and Alhaji Islam Dauda. We like to welcome Alhaji Aliyu Usman Abdullahi and the Rajima Lafia. We acknowledge the presence of Alhaji. We have Engineer Haruna Ibrahim. We recognize the presence of Alhaji Usman Badalebe Ubau, Dalatu Ubau. We want especially to the chairman acknowledge the presence of two teachers. We welcome pharmacist Dr. Usman T. Sampu. We have Sir Martin Audoma, the SEO of Doma. We like to acknowledge the presence of Reverend Father Gustavo Mabu, is here. We have Prince Nnamdi Eze. Honorable Abdullahi Sani. We have Mr. Vice Chancellor Alhaji Ali S. Mohammed, Magajin Garin Bukuru Jos. We'd like to recognize also Adam Sanusi Suleiman, representing ITF of Lafia. Let me especially welcome the family members in the Inaugural lecturer. We have his wives, Mrs. Halima Nasirudeen Baba. We recognize the presence of Mrs. Lafia Nasirudeen Baba. His children, Halisa Nasirudeen Baba, Aisha Nasirudeen Baba, Abdurrahman Nasirudeen Baba, Afnan Nasirudeen Baba, Hanan Nasirudeen Baba. Mr. Chairman, sir, we have also classmates of an Inaugural lecturer from Mohammed who are here in the numbers. We recognize the presence, and we recognize the presence of each and every one of you who have come to be part of this. Time will not permit us to mention everyone by name, but we would like to say welcome to Federal University of Lafia and welcome to the 21st Inaugural lecture of the university. Mr. Chairman, this is what I would like to invite for the welcome address the chairperson of the Inaugural lecture committee of the university, Professor Joshua William.
Of able administrators, my lords, spiritual and temporal in the house, the family of the inaugurating professor today, my colleagues in the house, students, ladies and gentlemen, newsmen. Today we hear of dirty stone and biomass. That is the title of the 21st inaugural lecture. This reminds me of the 20th inaugural lecture that talked about harmful, invisible objects coming from somewhere. I don't know whether dirty stone and biomass could be worse or better. But what I know is that you're talking of industrialization. We once had an inaugural lecture that by now we should be growing mushrooms in the Faculty of Agriculture. We are still awaiting that promise. This one promises to bring industrialization to Federal University of Lafia. Why am I saying this? I heard that the reason we have a problem going holes for water somewhere in our land is because we have a lot of dirty stones underground. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I want you to particularly listen to the promises that will be made here for industrialization in this university and follow up every step of the way. There is no inaugural lecture that we have presented here that has gone without giving us one lesson or two. This is particularly important because it speaks to idea. How can we get our dirty stones? There's a lot of biomass here. If only we can put them together. I don't want to speak before the inaugural lecturer himself speaks, but he will tell us how we can use the biomass that we generate here on everyday basis to bring about industrialization. Please listen attentively, learn, and above all, enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was the welcome address by the chairperson of the Inaugural Lecture Committee of Federal University of Lafia, Professor Josephine. Mr. Chairman, please permit me to acknowledge the presence of His Royal Highness, Ms. Martins Shadders, the Longomai of Shaddam, who is here ably represented by Alhaji Yakub Utuma, the Ubanduman Shaddam. Sir, we appreciate you. We would like to also acknowledge the presence of representatives from Biomass State University. We acknowledge your presence. May I at this point most respectfully invite Thank you very much. May I most respectfully invite the chairman of this occasion, Professor Chihu Abdurrahman, Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Lafia, for his address.
The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Partnership, the University Bossa, University Librarian, Provosts, Deans and Directors, Professors, Head of Departments, other members of Senate of this university, our inaugural lecturer of today, and his families, his associates, the head of our security agency in Nasirudeen State, our royal fathers here present, other academic staff, non-teaching staff, students of Federal University of Lafia, I welcome all of us. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to Federal University of Lafia. I begin this address by expressing my sincere thanks to all of you for attending this inaugural lecture titled Dirty Stone and Biomass, Feedstock for Sustainable Energy and Industrial Chemicals, by a professor of industrial chemistry, Professor Nasirudeen M. Baba. Your presence here today is an expression of great support to this university. By the university tradition, it is the inaugural lecture that inaugurates a person's chair as professor, and this is usually held within 1 or 2 years after the date of appointment, promotion, and announcement. This cherished academic tradition has been neglected or is done on a regular basis in many universities, to the extent that some professors retire without giving their inaugurals. In this university, we have developed inaugural lecture policy to sustain inaugural lectures and ensure that within 2 or 3 years of being given a chair or becoming a professor, every professor shall deliver his or her inaugural lecture. This is the best practice globally. Today, Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba is presenting the second inaugural lecture from the Department of Chemistry in this university. It is an opportunity for him to share his knowledge, discoveries, and even personal journey in the field of industrial chemistry. We are here to celebrate him and learn from his vast knowledge and experience. I therefore congratulate Professor Nasirudeen Baba, the Department of Chemistry, and the Faculty of Science on this achievement. Professor Nasirudeen Baba is a very hard-working fellow and has the driving spirit for excellence. I'm aware and indeed witnessed his performance in his capacity as acting dean of School of Postgraduate Studies and that of Faculty of Science in this university. So on behalf of the management of this university, I express our deep appreciation to the University Inaugural Lecture Committee, which have Professor Ode as chairperson, for the progress we are making in our inaugural lecture series. Let me also thank Professor Nasirudeen Baba's family for the support given to him during his academic journey and during the preparation for this inaugural lecture. I welcome you all and best regards. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That was addressed by the chairman of this occasion and Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Lafia.
May I please invite the inaugural lecturer, Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba, to please rise and remain standing for his salutation. Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba was born on 31st December 1974 in Chendan local government area of Plateau State, to the family of Mala Mohammed Baba and Malama Rukia Mohammed Baba. He started his primary education at LEA Primary School, Chendan, Plateau State, after which he proceeded to government secondary school, Gobel Chendan, where he started his secondary education. Due to his quest to become one of the scientists in his locality, he sat for qualifying examination for Science Secondary School in Plateau State and was posted to Government Science School, Lafia, in the present-day Nasirudeen State, after he emerged as one of the best candidates qualified to be in one of the science schools in the state. It was at Government Science School, Lafia, he developed keen interest in the study of chemistry through his Pakistani chemistry teacher, Mr. S. Fiaz. After completing his secondary education, he gained admission into the prestigious Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, to study for a B.Tech Honors degree in industrial chemistry, and graduated successfully in 1999. He later went back to the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, for his MSc in industrial chemistry, and graduated successfully before earning a PhD in industrial and material chemistry from one of the best universities in the world, the University College London, United Kingdom. Professor Ashaka Cement PLC, Ashaka Gombe State, briefly as quality control chemist, immediately after his National Youth Service Corps. During his one-year stay at Ashaka Cement, he embarked on a co-research to assist the company in saving huge amount of money in the purchase of black fuel from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation for firing the company's kiln. The outcome of the research has changed the narrative till today, as the company still uses coal to fire the cement kiln up till now. His zeal for intellectualism made him accept an offer of employment from the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University for 8 years before transferring his services to the Kaduna State University, Kaduna. He later joined the Federal University of Lafia on demand and courtesy of his role model, Professor Mohammed. In the early days of his career as a young academic, Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba had the privilege of being mentored by Emeritus Professor Abubakar Sani Sambo, late Professor Ezeldin Mukhtar Abdurrahman, Professor Mohammed Sanusi Liman, and Professor Shehu Abdurrahman, who taught him about nature and the principle of university administration. He has held several administrative responsibilities, among which are Departmental Examination Officer, Kaduna State University, Departmental Science Officer in Kaduna State University, Departmental Project Coordinator, and so many others in Kaduna State University. On joining the services of Federal University of Lafia, he was Deputy Dean School of Postgraduate Study, Federal University of Lafia between 2017 to 2021, Acting Director, Center for General Study, Federal University of Lafia between 2017 to 2021, Acting Dean School of Postgraduate Study, Federal University of Lafia in 2021, Acting Head, Department of Chemistry, Federal University of Lafia in 2021, and Acting Dean, Faculty of Science, Federal University of Lafia between 2021 to 2023. Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba has served on more than 100 committees within the university system, both as chair and as a member. For instance, he was the chairman of the University Security Committee in 2021. Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba is a visiting scholar at Apaka Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, and was in the same position at the University of Jos and the University of Maiduguri. He has served as the Financial Secretary and Secretary of Academic Staff Union of University, ASU, Kaduna State University Chapter, respectively at various times, and was the Secretary, Ethics, Grievance and Conflict Resolution Committee at the National Secretariat of ASU. Professor Nasirudeen Baba is currently a member and a fellow of the following learned society: member Nigerian Society of Physical Science, member American Chemical Society, member Royal Society of Chemistry, fellow Institute of Chartered Chemists of Nigeria, fellow Chemical Society of Nigeria. At the national level, Professor Nasirudeen was a chair and member of the NUC accreditation panel to various universities in Nigeria. For instance, he was the chairman of NUC accreditation panel to the University of Ilorin, Nigeria Army University Biu, Nigerian Police Academy Wodil, Borno State University Maiduguri, Alamin University Minna, Al Stigma University Sumaila Kano, and many others. Professor Nasirudeen Baba has internally and externally examined, supervised, and graduated many postgraduate students. He recently assessed 6 scholars for promotion to the rank of associate professor and professors for 6 different universities in Nigeria. He has attended several local and international conferences and workshops and has over 80 publications in reputable national and international journals in the areas of industrial and applied chemistry. Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba is a consultant with Asakem PLC on coal beneficiation and holds the traditional title of Gan Kua Majidadi Bauchi and Baden Hausa Fulani Shenda. Professor Nasirudeen is happily married and the marriage is blessed with plenty children. The chairman of this occasion and the vice chancellor, sir, I present to you Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba, a professor of industrial chemistry, for the presentation of this wonderful.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Vice Chancellor and Chairman of this inaugural lecture, a member of the Governing Council of this university, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, other principal officers of this university, Provost, College of Medicine, who doubles as the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Provost, College of Postgraduate Studies, my Dean, the Dean, Faculty of Science, Deans of other faculties, Dean, Student Affairs, Professors and other members of the Senate, Directors of various units, Heads, Department of Chemistry, Heads of other departments and units, the Chairman, Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU Lafia branch, the visiting representative of ASU KASU, members of the academic staff of this university, Chairman and other members of other unions here present, members of the non-teaching staff, Your Royal Highnesses, here present, the Emir of Bauchi, ably represented, Your Royal Highness, the Osuko of Obi, Your Royal Highness, Alhaji Aliyu Engiwa Orime, other royal fathers here present, the Longome of Shandam ably represented by the Obando and Shandam, members of my nuclear and extended families, my teachers and mentors here present, my former and present students, distinguished students of Lafia, distinguished students of Department of Chemistry, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Indeed, all praises and adoration are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty and the Lord of the world. I sincerely thank Him for sparing my life from the day of my birth to date. I'm immensely grateful to Him for making it possible for me to stand before you all today to deliver the 21st edition of the inaugural lecture series of the Federal University of Lafia, and to present some aspects of my contributions to research nationally and internationally to this great audience of scholars and eminent personalities. The topic of my lecture is Dirty Stone and Biomass, Feedstocks for Sustainable Energy and Industrial Chemicals. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, this inaugural lecture is historic in my life, and destiny has played a significant role. My interest to study industrial chemistry was conceived here in Lafia, and as destined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I have reached the peak of my career here in Lafia. And standing before you, this great gathering, to deliver my inaugural lecture as the first made in Lafia Professor of Industrial Chemistry. Alhamdulillah. I am deeply touched to have this august assembly, an array of dignitaries gathered to listen to me deliver my inaugural lecture. I feel very happy and elated that you have time to come. I said, Chapama, Barkanku da zuwa, Mushakin Shiro, to my slave, that is the Kanuris, and lastly, welcome. May Allah reward you abundantly. My appreciation goes to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Shehu Abdurrahman, for giving me the approval to deliver this inaugural lecture and for chairing this occasion. This inaugural lecture is of significance to me. As I've said earlier, it gives me the opportunity to inform colleagues, the university community, and the general public of my work to date, including current research and future plans. Hence, highlighting my contributions to knowledge, research leadership, and community service. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I am aware that this gathering is a complex one, in the sense that most of the people in this hall are coming from different disciplines of studies. Therefore, I will try to deliver this lecture in a basic way, without the rigorous chemical equations and terminologies. This is with a view to accommodate all as much as possible, and the audience to appreciate the role of chemistry as a central science from the perspective of industrial chemistry. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to sit back, make sure you have your soap and detergent so that the dirty stone cannot spoil your clothes. Thank you. As I've said earlier, Mr. Vice Chancellor, dirty stone and biomass, feedstock for sustainable energy and industrial chemicals is the title of my presentation. Mr. Vice Chancellor, the presentation outlined this afternoon, I will start with the introduction, the dirty stone, what is it all about, my journey so far in the academic, the chemicals from biomass, conclusions and recommendations, future research, and acknowledgement. I will try to be as snappy as possible, Mr. Chairman, sir. Sitting down here, Mr. Vice Chancellor, throughout human history, there has been significant evolution in the context of energy usage. Without energy, definitely, all of us sitting down here, I don't think we can have the means to come to sit down in this hall. Energy is a global phenomenon. Globally, throughout human history, we normally use energy in that context. In the beginning, the ancient humans depended on food and source energy for heat and daily activities. Because if we do not eat since morning, I don't think most of us sitting down here will be enjoying this inaugural lecture. Energy and chemicals has always been an integral aspect of human history, and the need for energy has considerably grown. All the time we have been talking about energy. We are now having energy crisis. Without energy, we don't have power. We cannot be in this hall. Now we have to power. The fuels are not available, everything. So energy and chemicals have always been our integral aspect. Without the chemicals, we will just be moving naked. Therefore, this concept is very important. Energy is a crucial for the socio-economic development and also what? Industrial growth and national security. Socio-economic development, the common woman that is selling ice without powering her refrigerator, she can never have what? Her economic has been what? Well. Now the World Energy Assessment, globally, it has assessed the importance of having a continuous, if you don't have a continuous energy, breakage in energy supply and utilization, there will be a problem. The national security without the energy concept, there may be chaos. Therefore, energy, based on the definition of the World Energy Assessment, emphasize the importance of that. It should go continuous. There should be no break. There is an increasing national also and international emphasis on renewable energy. We shall see that in the course of this lecture. For our industrialization, every global community, every global world, they are trying to look at how do we have an industrialized nation? How do we become one of the industrialized nations? Therefore, we rely heavily, most of them, they rely heavily on resources such as this dirty stone and biomass. Is what very, very important. Mr. Chairman, sir, bioenergy is a technology which I do recognize for either ability to create an economic, eco-friendly energy resources. These technologies are environmentally friendly because they may decide to pollute the environment. They may decide to cause, last inaugural lecture, there are a lot of what? Issues regarding viruses. Now these technologies, if you use them, you utilize them, definitely they can become environmental friendly because of their low impact on the environment. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the importance of this dirty stone in the energy mix of Nigeria and indeed in their entire world can never be emphasized. As I've said earlier on, we cannot survive without the energy. Now, what is this dirty stone? This is a combustible. When we say something is combustible, it can easily be used in form of energy. It can be combusted, or it is a brownish sedimentary rock that is composed primarily of what? Carbon and hydrocarbon. If we rely on this petroleum, where is it? We have the resources, we cannot refine it. We have a refinery, there is an issue. Between what? Fixing of the price, going to the market. So these are the components. Now it is formed from the remains. As petroleum is formed from the remains of what? Dead plants that have been buried for over million years, the same thing with this dirty stone is also been formed into layers of rocks and sediment. Mr. Vice Chancellor, when you look at this plate, you see it black. That is why I said get set with your soap and detergent. This is one of the dirty stones that we are talking about. Now, these are some of our colleagues. You can see them looking very dirty. They wear white shirt. That is why I said everybody who is wearing white shirt, including my chairman, you should have at least soap and detergent nearby. By the time we start sprinkling the dirty stone here, it will all be dirty. And these are some of them in the mining field. They have that is why I point that as a dirty stone. Now, when you look at globally in Nigeria, we have a confirmed dirty stone reserve of about 640 million metric tons. When you look at the map, when you look at that blue axis, this is the belt. We have the Benue, the upper trough, the middle trough, and then the lower trough. All of this belt, that is where Nigeria, in this country, they have that belt. We are lying down, including the top-off site of Federal University of Lafia. We are now sleeping on this particular dirty stone. Recently, a new discovery. Recently, a new reserve has been found in Kwashiri, Duduguru, all of them in Obi local government and in Jamba. That is a discovery. So now when you look at the map of this country, in that axis, at this particular axis, this place, that is where you can find the Obi. But the belt spell up to Duduguru. Duduguru is just close by here, Mr. Vice Chancellor. It's very close by to the take-off site. So the belt spell across that. Now this sparked a new enthusiasm for extensive research on this new discovery. Dirty stone in Nigeria, it has been overlooked. Or because it is dirty, because people they don't want to what? Walk over it, or is it like people they need cleaner, quick money? This holds the hidden potentials in the energy cycle of this country. This black stone, it holds the energy potentials. Now, it can become a cornerstone symbolizing transformation, redemption, recognition in its what? Through what? By the time I unveil what that dirty stone is all about. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, this dirty stone is known as coal. This dirty stone is coal. Nasarawa State, Nigeria, particularly Obi, we have one of the most useful coal within that belt. We have been hearing of Lafia, Obi. The Vice Chancellor, the word dirty stone we use interchangeably with coal in this inaugural lecture, so that my audience will not be confused when I use them. Now, my journey so far. Mr. Vice Chancellor, permit me to highlight some of the my journey in the study of this dirty stone and biomass. The first thing we have tried to look at was to study that dirty stone with particular respect to metallurgical industries. We are all aware. I don't know when last is Ajakuta Steel Complex. I don't know when last just steel rolling mills are still in existence. Because we started with using these dirty stones before the Nigerian Civil War. Now it has not been utilized. So we look at it in terms of what? The metallurgical application. What we did was to blend some of the Nigerian coals. Before, you spend huge amount of money in exporting these coals to this country. So we try to see how do we now reduce the burden in this country by expending a lot of money in terms of what? Foreign research. Foreign exchange. So we decided to look at it. How do we blend this dirty stone with the foreign coking coal? Because if your dirty stone is not coking, you can never make it useful in metallurgical industry. Now, some of the preliminary investigations we need to test how far can it go. In this particular, we took 2 of the Nigerian coals. The first one is the Lafia Obi coal, which is predominantly and particularly found in Kwashi, which is in Obi local government. So we did that in order to ascertain will they be able to use. We came up with a very good discovery. The Lafia Obi, when you look at the result from the Lafia Obi, look at the Lafia Obi and then Chikla. You blend it with the Polish and American coals. By the time we did that, we discovered that the Lafia Obi has a better working property compared to the Chikla. Chikla is out north, around Gombe, Adamawa axis. When you look at the belt in my map, the map of the country that I have given it to you. Now, when you look at the moisture, it has also less percentage in that moisture. So from there we say, this Lafia Obi coal is going to be what? Good. So we vary the blending ratio in between 30% to 70%. All of them, when we do that, when you look at the column in green, that is the excellent result that we have already given. So that gave us a clue to consider this Feedstocks in metallurgical industry. The same thing, sorry, is a little bit blurry. For you to know, it's only one chart that I'm going to talk here. For you to ascertain what we have done in the preliminary investigations, we discovered that the gradient profile, that is what will give you the determination. It gives you the number. The number start, the best code, it starts from what? G1 to G4. And we discovered that after blending, still the Kwashiri coal of Lafia Obi, it has retained the best metallurgical coal compared to the Polish and American coals. So why do we expend our money to start importing this coal when we are now using it? So Nasirudeen State is indeed very rich. Particular reference to Obi local government, it is also very, very rich for investors to come and look at this particular coal that we are now going to go on it. Mr. Vice Chancellor, also, there are some hazards associated with the usage of coal. So we discovered some of the metals in this Lafia Obi coal. So when you look at it, only one of the aspects, when you look at the, when you look at the NBJJ6, it has a higher percentage of iron and UBC J1. We gave it a code name so that we cannot come and run into trouble to start looking for us. But at the end of the lecture, Your Royal Highness, the Osuko of Odi, maybe I can be able to tell you the exact location where so that you cannot have problem with your subject. Now, how do you ascertain to know that you want to make use of this particular coal in terms of maturity? How mature it is? So we determine the maturity and the proximate analysis of that coal. The same thing, NBJJ2 and NBJJ3 also is a code name, it is a deliberate. Only the research team and Your Royal Highness, if you want to, you will be able to do that. They have percentage vitreous reflectance, which is 0.9. These two particular coal location and coal seams, they can give you particularly, they give you the real maturity. So that particular coal is mature enough to do that. Now, the other aspect of the coal sample around that axis is the Dudu coal. We tested the fuel characteristics of that particular Dudu coal, and we found out that it has a fire heating value of 26.55. Wherever you have, if you have 20 megajoules per kilogram, it's excellent. But this one, it has about 26.55. So it is excellent in that particular. This may be as a result, because I've shown you the belt, right from Enugu, the lower Benue trough, it moves up. That is what it does. Now, Mr. Vice Chancellor, when I'm talking, I've seen some of my geologist colleagues are smiling. Now, there are issues, I'm aware that there are issues concerned about environmental challenges using coal, using this diesel. My research in this area has been to find a means of reducing or totally eliminating these challenges. And as such, this area that we are trying to solve that particular problem is called carbon capture and storage. That is one of the areas. The other aspect is coal briquetting technologies. I'm happy the Director, Center for Energy Studies is here. I'm happy the DVC Research and Partnership is here. And I'm happy the Director, Research and Creative Thoughts are here. We will see how we can do the capture, how we can do what? The coal briquetting technology. Now, what is this carbon capture and storage? We call it CCT technology. This carbon culture is to collect, as you are burning the coal, it gives out what? A lot of what? Smoke. So instead of allowing the smoke to flare into the environment, you use, as you use the exhaust in your car, you use pipe to capture the CO2 or from the generator. Now, when we capture it, if we can allow it to travel via what? Either pipes. If you allow it to travel, you may use it. Why are we using it? You may recycle it. You have drastically reduced the carbon content within that atmosphere. And again, when you capture, you deposit it either on underground storage. It can be useful. We said, what on earth is not chemistry? Mr. Chairman, sir, the coal briquetting technology, as I've said, the university is in the right position. I have seen the sketches where we can embark on this coal briquetting technology. If Dr. Mrs. Comfort Ukwela is here, I saw her advertising certain stuff. Lafia has come to stay. We have the stuff, we are on the process of making that stuff. I saw the sketches. Now, this method is by which coal is converted into a specific shape. You make it into a specific shape. I will show you one example of what we have done. The second aspect is to use binders and other additives in order to increase its durability and calorific value. Anything that is less than 20 megajoules per kg, it cannot give you what you require. The other aspect of the coal briquetting technology is to prevent the release of these toxic gases into the atmosphere and offers an eco-friendly energy solutions and curbing deforestation. If the representative of government are here, we know there was a time when this national state government passed a law of what? Deforestation. If you must deforest, you must have to afforest. If you cut down the trees, you must have to what? Replace it. What are we having? Start moving from Akonga to Abuja, you will see a lot of what? The charcoals. It's different from what I'm talking about. That one, they are felling down the virgin trees, burning it, and then selling it to the people. Come back to coal briquetting technology. It offers eco-friendly energy solution. These are the sketch, the flow diagram for that. You have your raw coal crusher screen. By the time you have your biomass, that is where your biomass goes. Go to around Shinge, you will see rice husk. Just take plenty of the rice husk. You take little percentage of the coal, you blend it. By the time you make it into, I will show you what we have done recently. That is what? The smokeless bio briquette. This is the smokeless. You can burn it without releasing the CO2 into the environment under low pressure densification. Now, this is a locally fabricated bio-briquetting machine, which we did it, Mr. Vice Chancellor. The materials, they are purely waste material. We just picked the metals, the chairs, broken chairs around the university. We constructed this particular briquetting machine. This is what we have produced. One of the briquetting machine, one of the briquettes, the bio-briquette, you can use it at least for 5 solid days, and the cost of this production is less than 15 naira. You can take one to use it to cook at home is less than 15 naira. Why am I saying less than 15 naira? You take a bike, take it just across after Abuja, there's one filling station. A lot of coal deposits are there. The people, they don't know how to make use of it. How much will it cost you? from Lafia to at least, let's assume 20 naira. No, sorry, 10 naira or thereabout. When you did it, you just take a starch. That is your binder. You mold it into what? Our briquetting machine. So what we are now trying to do is to make a way where we can make it to have this is a manual, we wanted to make it automated. That is what is our future research. Now the smokeless produced from coal and biomass under that, we discovered that it has an energy value between 18. There are so many factors that we found out around 18, but the highest that we found is 22, which is within to give you the good high energy value. This suggests that the blended briquette will be used as a reliable. Now, the chemicals from biomass. What is this biomass? It's an organic material that comes from plants and animals. That is basically basic definition of our biomass. Look around, any organic material that comes from plants and animals, they are biomass. What are they being used for? They can be burned directly to provide heat. If you use your firewood, which you are trying to discourage because you are felling down the trees. If you use the charcoal, which you are trying to discourage because you are still felling down the trees. Anything that can burn and give you, go to the right source, maize source, etc., etc., can be converted to liquid and gaseous fuels. These are the various stages. You have ethanol. You can produce the ethanol and other industrial chemicals between this flow. Now, the fundamental aspect on this particular biomass, what we did, is the production of 5-HMF. We produce 5-HMF, which is referred to as dormant powerhouse. It's dormant, we don't know the use of it. Now, when you look at this, it's the one at the center. It can give you various chemicals that we can be able to make use of it, which I'm going to show one. How do we make this 5-HMF? From glucose. We use cassava's waste. We hydrolyze the cassava waste. We remove the water. We convert the cassava waste because it has a starch content to glucose. From the glucose, it undergoes certain height. You remove the percentage of water in it, it can give you that particular compound. Now, this is the my biorefinery. Everything it takes place within this plate, Mr. Vice Chancellor. It's the vacuum reactor. Everything from the generation, from the production of the HMF, it takes place within this small bucket. You put all your materials, you heat it, you can use what? The briquette to heat it. Now, this is where we are. When you look at the green at that angle, this is where our biomass, we produce what? The 5-MH. We use a milder catalyst to produce this particular compound. It can be used in pharmaceutical industries. The College of Medicine take care. This is our capsules. These are our petrochemicals, and it can be used in the building. Also, we are now battling with fuels. We are now shouting. The CNG gases have come to stay. We have a lot of these biomass resources. In these biomass resources, when you see this particular green tree, this particular tree is to tell you we are not cutting down the live tree. No. What we are doing, if it has finished its lifetime, even if you cut it, I said if you deforest, you must what? Afforest. You have cellulosic material. We use another different catalyst here to produce our DHM. Is also serve as a fuel to fuel our car. The same thing, different catalyst, different material to have that particular car. Derivatives, there are so many derivatives of 5-HMF. We call the other one 2,5-fluorine dicarboxylic acid. For you not to break your jaw, you call it FDCA. This FDCA, when you look at the first one is terephthalic acid. This terephthalic acid, you find it directly from the petrochemicals. Where is our petrochemicals now? No. So we synthesize an analog of this particular product. You have it at the other one, we call it FCT. Period. It can serve the ones that they are waiting for petrochemical industries to produce. The other aspect is the polymer, where we can use most of our plastic bottles that we discarded. they are not biodegradable. So by the time you produce this from the plant, this is the reaction, you produce your polymers, which you can make the bioplastic, the biodegradable plastic before us. Another derivative is this diagrammatic representation. You see the genesis, the starting point is what? From biomass. Using the word HMF, minor, we call it green catalyst to convert it into this particular compound, and this is our plastic, the second derivative. We have them most and most. You will ask a particular question, what happened since we are using biomass? If water have acted on it, what does it do? Now, we tested for the hydrophobicity, where it can absorb the water. If you do it, you allow it, you absorb water. So different types of polymers we have made. From here, you increase the time. At certain point, it's moving, the absorption of water, but it's all of them less than what? 1.2. So within 1, the percentage absorption, it is okay, after a long period of time. So that is basically what we have done. My conclusion, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, this presentation has shown that Nigeria has, and Nasarawa State, have a wealth of coal and biomass waste resources. Coal and biomass waste can address the nation's energy, industrial, chemical requirements, and socio-economic growth. Production with high-quality industrial growth in line with the waste to wealth programs of the federal government. There is waste to wealth program, but what is the implementation of that waste to wealth program? It's a shambles. I will recommend, my recommendation, sir, I'm recommending that all the 3 tiers of government and relevant stakeholders should develop a roadmap for promoting a connection between research and industry, enhance the transmission of value chain. If you don't have the value chain, if you cannot transmit the value chain, it's as much as you are doing nothing. Increase its effort in implementing the Waste to Wealth initiative. Support industrial development and alleviate poverty. Improve the infrastructure in tertiary institutions by supporting research. Improve funding of research projects and promote the use of locally sourced materials and products. Reinvigorate the Ajakuta steel plant and related industries. Utilize the partial coal that is being found in Obi and others in the steel and cement industry. Collaborate with the chemistry department, Federal University of Lafia in this area. Support and finance research in dirty stone and biomass for energy and industrial chemicals. My future research, I'm engaged recently in the production of plastics from orange peel waste. It's simple. Just Lafia market here, there are a lot of orange waste. We subject them to produce plastics, which I hope by the end of the year, we shall have some of our plastic from orange peel. 2, bioethanol production from renewable raw materials. The third engagement that I'm engaging, catalytic pyrolysis of biodegradable plastic waste to high-value chemicals. Acknowledgement. I have to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for sparing my life up to this time. I have to acknowledge Him for all the favors He has done to me up till this moment. My beloved parents, I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. There's nothing much I can say. You have done enough. You have done a lot. My grandparents, this is my grandmother of blessed memory, Hajia Aisha Abdullahi. This is the young child from a settlement of Ruga. He said, Nasiru, through my grandfather, I was going to school. My grandfather, Alhaji Ibrahim Maimoto, he was the one, a lot of people are going to school. he rode on his motorcycle, on his bike to meet Hajia. You must send Nasiru to school. And my uncle is here sitting down as the Grand Kadi of Plateau State. You can see the examples. The Jamatul Firdausi, his final abode. My uncles that I've said already before, Justice Umar Ibrahim. I was in Lafia, courtesy of Justice Umar Ibrahim. Uncle, I said thank you. My siblings, led by my immediate younger brother, Sani Muhammad Baba, all of you, I said thank you for the support. My wife, Alima Nasirudeen, Walifa Nasirudeen, I said thank you for the support. To my children, Harisa, Aisha, Abdurrahman, Afnan, and Hanan, thank you for the support, the love, and then the understanding. Daddy is not always approved. My royal fathers here present, the Emir of Bauchi, the Osugo of Obi, the Emir of Lafia, the Langome of Shandam, the Langalatima of Lafia, everybody that is seated here, I said thank you. My teachers, I will start with my primary school teachers. I want Mrs. Albina Mamdam and Mrs. Bajik to stand up. Mr. Vice Chancellor, these are the two. The third one is supposed to be here. The third one is supposed to be here when you were sick. Mrs. Christiana and Mrs. Albina, this is your stubborn and truant Nasir. If I did not go to school, the first thing they will come and meet Hajia, where is Nasir? This is your stubborn Nasir. Thank you for all what you have done. My secondary school time, through him I studied chemistry and developed the interest of being studying chemistry. May his soul rest in peace. Malam Ibrahim Kawu is supposed to be here, but he was unavoidably absent. I said thank you. My university teachers, they are numerous. Thank you for all what you have done. The tallest principal of our time, led Mr. Clement Ilwa Burman. Mr. Ilwa, thank you very much, Professor. I became a professor during your time. You announced my professorship. You gave me all the necessary support. I said, thank you, sir. This is, we call him, the last time he was here, we call him Dodo Megilan Sama. Professor, Emeritus Professor Abubakar Sani Sambu. He employed me as a graduate assistant, as a university lecturer. He taught me the arts and science of energy studies. He is watching us live, virtually, Emeritus Professor sir, thank you. This is your Nasiru that we sent you out of the campus because of student unionism. I said, thank you. Another gentleman, led Professor Ezzardin Mukhtar Abdurrahman, a former Vice Chancellor of Kaduna State University. When I wanted to go to UK, some people met him. Why are you sending this man? He is not from the state. He is not this. He is not that. He looked at him and said, he is a Nigerian. He said, wherever he goes, he will raise the flag. He is a Nigerian. Thank you. May his soul rest in peace. This is also one of my mentors, late Brigadier General Mohammed S. Barak. He paid the supreme price trying to protect this country. May his soul rest in peace. To Professor Ayat Garba, my undergraduate supervisor, led Professor Ibanka O. Akpabio, my MSc supervisor, Professor A.Q. Ibrahim is retired now, Madam Hussein Umar Jende, Professor Baba Alpha, Professor Sani Muhammad Angongo, Professor Aliu Joro, Professor Ashafa of Kaduna State University, Professor Palatoko of Kaduna State University, Professor Harami M. Adamu of ATBU, Professor A.M. Polo of ATBU, Professor Iwa Chindo of ATBU, Professor Iwo Academy is retired now of ATBU, Professor Buba M. Uvem of Plateau State University, Bokos. All of them, they are my mentors. I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. They were equally represented by one of my very close friends. She is here, Dr. Mrs. Florence Omexba. Can you stand up for the recognition? He asked me not to see him. He is traveling and he met his untimely death on his Benin or a road. May his soul rest in perfect peace. The principal officers of this great university and other principal officers of these other universities that I have worked, I said thank you for all the support. My PhD supervisors. This is Emeritus Professor Julian Evans. Thank you, sir. He's watching us live. The Iron Lady. Only Professor Liman and Professor Abubakar Sadiq Ali will understand. I am reporting Helen, she is watching us. If Professor Mrs. Amadi is here, I will report her based on gender. Mommy, she molested me but for good. If I see Professor Helen Hells coming through this direction, I will change. One day I am going to the 5th floor. She is in the 3rd floor. She stopped the lift. We met in the lift. I wanted to buy. She said, go back. Just go back. We were in the lift staring at each other. She dealt with me, but for good. I said, thank you, Professor Helen. To all my colleagues in ATBU Bauchi, Kaduna State University, Federal University of Lafia, I said, thank you, and Nasarawa State University, Kefi, for all you have done. I have listed all your names in the publications. Time will not permit me to start calling you one after the other. I love you all. Thank you for all of your things. To all my LOSA members, Senior Martins Doma, thank you. Any other person that I will work together, thank you. All my classmates at large Government Science School Lafia stand up for recognition. I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. There is what we call ATPY2K friends. They are watching us live, thank you. My seniors, Professor Emmanuel Bano, thank you, thank you, thank you. Since I have joined the services of Federal University of Lafia, you hold me as a child up till this moment. I said, thank you for all of that. I would like to appreciate late Professor Dauda Musa Ena, whom I deputized. Thank you. May God Almighty rest his soul in peace. To my successors, Professor Victor Duga, as the main dean, School of Postgraduate Studies, I said, thank you. To my successor, Faculty of Science, Professor Machuko Aremu, I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. All other colleagues, my friends, who are there for me at any slightest opportunity, Professor Abubakar Sadiq, thank you. Professor Amir Adamu Ambi of ABU, thank you. The Majid Ngochi, thank you. Dr. Khalil Ibrahim Adam, thank you. All others that I cannot mention your names, but brothers and sisters, I have captured your names in my publications. Thank you, may God bless you all. The inaugural lecture committee, Professor Mrs. Ode, thank you, ma'am, for waking me up in the night, submit this, submit that. With all members of the committee, including Professor Rabiu, Dr. Rabiu, thank you very much. My friends, all over, my brothers and sisters, Mr. Vice Chancellor, anybody you see here, he is here because of me. He came purposely when you invited them, but because of me, I'm using this opportunity to say, everybody, thank you for coming. I will not forget my research collaborators. That is why I put them in red. My research collaborators, we work together to achieve this feat. Particularly, I will recognize Dr. Benga Nyakuma. He is presently with Northeastern University, Gombe, popularly known as Penn Resources. Shegun Adeyemi from Ekiti State University. We've started the struggle together, and any other person, I said thank you. My students, thank you, I love you all. Mr. Vice Chancellor, permit me to state the metamorphosis. DVC Academy, please, it's not that your area of the metamorphosis or Professor Ondo. This metamorphosis is a transition. This is the young child after graduating from the first degree with a BTech. That is the first metamorphosis. When Helen is dealing with him in the lab, when he graduated with a PhD, I am Professor Nasirudeen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we put our hands together for Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba for that wonderful and exciting inaugural lecture presentation. Thank you very much, sir. Congratulations. May I invite the chairman of this occasion and the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lafia, Professor Shiru Abdurrahman, for the presentation of the lecture.
Federal University of Lafia, Inaugural Lecture Series number 21. Faculty of Science, Certificate of Merit awarded to Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba, Professor of Industrial Chemistry, Department of Chemistry, on your inaugural lecture presentation titled Feedstocks and Biomass, Feedstocks for Sustainable Energy and Industrial Chemical. Today, 2nd October 2024. Congratulations. This is the point where some people don't want me to comment. This is a symbol to him to show that Professor Nasirudeen Baba is today inaugurated as a professor of Federal University of Lafia If you visit him in his office, you will see this. If you leave his office to another office and you didn't see this, and the person called himself professor, he has not been appointed. So, we congratulate you. And this is the gift from the inaugural lecture committee of this university. It's so heavy, but I will not ask you to open it here. Thank God you have 2 wives. They will help you to open when you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sanunku, but he didn't say Hongwe. That is to epitomize his being a son of the soil in Shandam. We are so proud of him. And I pray this is just the beginning. Allah will see him through in all his endeavors. We are so proud of him. God continue to bless him and his family.
Yeah, I want to congratulate our friend, our brother. He likes calling me my padre. And padre in the Italian means father. And I used to call him my professor. You know, Reverend fathers in Calito don't marry, but I have a son in my friend who calls me his father. We're proud of you. In fact, he's our coordinator in the set. And the first time we met was 2015 in Jos. From then to this moment, we have been together. And so we promise to be here in our numbers, God's willing. I just came from Port Harcourt. Congratulations. And we expect that God will take you higher and higher and higher and higher by the grace of God. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of Kaduna State University, we have come here to felicitate with our brother, colleague, and also a mentor of chemistry. We are very proud of the feat he has attained in this field of endeavor. And we congratulate you and we wish you all the best. And we pray that God will continue to uplift you higher as you continue in this assignment here in Lafia. So on behalf of the good people of Kaduna State University, we say thank you for having us here to celebrate with you. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Let me invite a friend of the university, geologist Kana, to give us his congratulatory remarks.
The Vice Chancellor, my senior brother, the Professor Shodaba, and my sister, the PDC, all protocol duly observed. As you have called me the friend of the university, I'm a scientist, and I'm a friend of Professor Nasir, and it's a friend of my junior brother who is also a professor from this university, Professor Musakana, who was the former dean of the Faculty of Medicine. But why I'm collecting the microphone to talk here is when I saw the topic, And I said, "Top, Professor Nasir has gone into our terrain, a place that extensive work has been done. Even the road from Tunga to Nasarawa that was converted from the state road to federal road is predicated on the coal. And incidentally, my dad was the one who did that, which one of his students, in 1973, is Professor Shugaba, which you are aware of that, which you have to take credit to that. Nobody will come and take credit on our behalf. I've got a lot of documentary on that, and I've attracted some money using the Senate, Senator Babangida, for the construction of a Doma road to approach Nasarawa, which will have double leg, one for the Jakarta feeder, and the other one to east access to the FCT. Then, having said that, I've listened keenly, Professor Nasir, I've listened keenly to your presentation, and I want to speak on behalf of some of my colleagues. Dr. Degree is here, Yakwari is here, and some of the scientists. And I think your own work is the beginning of the value chain, because you are in our terrain, and I want to put it, the issue of the blending you spoke. If you talk about metallurgy, if you go to Jos, the Metallurgical Development Center was predicated on the value addition leading to Nigeria moving into industrialization. That started in 1963 based on political issues, was killed. Mbadwe and the rest issues, then up to 73, and then is now history. Now, in Jos, if you go to Jos, you don't need to do issue of blending. They have pilot plans there already. What you need to do now, specifically, the coal we have in Obi Lafia is the best coal in Nigeria for information. It's Potuminous ranking. That of the Opara mines and the Meganga mines are of Sopotuminous. So the one here is the best. But the problem we had before was the hydrogeological problem. The issue of stabilization of slopes down deep. But it has passed. Technology has already passed. Now I want to put to the Vice Chancellor, already we are having mining blocks. Just like you have the oil blocks already in Jangwa, which he has alluded in his papers. So if you go to Jos Meteorological Development Center, if you take the Lafia Obi coal, which is bituminous, because the higher ranking of coal is anthracite, which you find in the Lizard district in the UK. You go to Canada, you go to Australia, those where you get the anthracite. But these are international politics. So what you do in the beneficiation is that if you take the coal, you heat it up to temperature of 1,350 degrees in presence of water, all the carbon will come together to form what we call coke, not the coke we drink. And that is what is going to be used in the blast furnace process, using the magnetite and the hematite. I think I want to stop here so that Professor Nasru, there's a need for more collaboration with my colleagues here, because maybe the VC is here, their hands are tied, so they wouldn't want to. So I'm using my own fiat as a fellow of Nigerian Mining and Geoscience Society, the only international civil service with my colleague Professor Shekhar Gato, your colleague Professor Civil University. Thank you very much.
Thank you, geologist. Let me invite Professor Kondon, Professor Emmanuel Hala Kondon, the Director, Center for Energy Studies, Federal University of Lafia, whom the Inaugural lecturer mentioned as one of the people who supported him in his career. Professor.
My Vice Chancellor, sir, other principal officers, Your Royal Highnesses, and friends and associates of Professor Nasirudeen, our colleagues in full Lafia, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to use this opportunity first and foremost to welcome you to the Botanical Garden. And particularly I want to appreciate Professor Nasirudeen, who has brought his reception to this beautiful scenery. In his lecture, he said as part of the carbon capture mechanism, he said he was going to bring us to where we'll be able to see how carbon is captured. And we owe the development of this botanical garden over time to the various vice chancellors. And I think, I'm not speaking for my HOD, but I will put it on record that the current vice chancellor has been the most supportive in trying to put the botanical garden in its right perspective. And we owe him that. Having said that, I think Professor Nasirudeen, we congratulate you particularly on behalf of the Center for Energy Studies. As you said during your lecture, there are so many things that we are already doing as a center, which fits into your research perspectives. And I think we have consistently opened our doors for all our colleagues to partner with the center. And particularly, we have a project of promoting the use of clean energy, especially for clean cooking. And I think the Vice Chancellor has graciously supported us, and we already have a project that is almost completed on the use of biomass briquettes, as well as the manufacture of clean cooking stove. We have a model, a prototype that has already been produced, and we are trying to perfect it. Further than that, even the issue of a press for briquette press, we also have that project which is ongoing. So I think just to emphasize here that the center is very, very open to collaborate with you to promote all these initiatives. And we want to congratulate you for this feat, and we pray that God will preserve you, even as you have presented your inaugural, to continue to further your research to affect humanity positively. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I think the next is Dr. Ahmad Adamu Ambi, Majida Adam Bauchi.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. The Vice Chancellor, members of the University Management, the representative of His Royal Highness Dr. Rilwan Suleiman Adamu, and also the Wakil Tarihi Bauchi, friends and well-wishers, good evening. I am highly delighted to stand before you today to appreciate all of us for being around Professor Nasirudeen Baba in his journey through all the metamorphoses he had gone through. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, Nasirudeen Baba has been a hard-working person. Even though he was stubborn, he was still hard-working. He's always focused, and that had been his driving force. Sir, whenever he set a goal, he achieves. Today, we are really seeing the handwork of Nasirudeen Baba. And for that, we say congratulations, Mohammed Nasirudeen Baba. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, we want to appreciate you. Because without your support, Nasirudeen Baba will not be having this particular lecture today. And without that, all of us here will not be here together facing each other. It is really things that needs to be appreciated. We thank you so much for the support. And to all the friends from all walks of life, we say thank you on behalf of each of us. I'm talking on behalf of the extended family. The smaller family will also speak. And that is where we'll see whether Mohammed Nasirudeen Baba has left behind a legacy or has left behind something that will one day will also celebrate as what? As his own legacy. We thank you so much and wish each and every one of us joining Mrs. Baku. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I think two groups of Professor Nasirudeen Baba's mentees wish to give him something. And let me invite them quickly to come forward and do that while we round up. We intend to spend just 30 minutes here. I think we have 10 minutes more. We're going to round up in the next 5 minutes, by God's grace.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Royal Fathers present, invited guests,
members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good evening all. On behalf of myself, here is the former FASA President, Faculty of Science Student Association. I am the immediate past Student Representative Council President, and also this is the former Student Integrity Club Vice President. We've been mentees to our very own Professor Nasirudeen Baba for the past 4 years, and he has been an incredible, a very caring father and mentor to us since inception. So I want to use this opportunity to appreciate you for all you've been doing for us, for your mentorship, for your guidance, and indeed for your support and prayers all through the years we've been in the university. We congratulate you. We pray this is the beginning of goodies to your life and that of your family. So on behalf of this, on behalf of our team, we present to you a congratulatory frame on your successful inaugural lecture at Federal University of Lafia. Congratulations, sir. Also,
the Vice Chancellor, sir. Also, here is the letter of congratulations. As a team, we call this team G3 Strategy Team, Political Strategy Team, and we offer you this congratulatory letter, sir.
Please, the second person, please be first.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. I feel very honored to be back to this academic background after 1 year, 4 months since I left this background to celebrate this momentous achievement with my mentor and academic model here, who many would have asked question how, because we are not in the same department. I have a microbiology department while he's in chemistry department. As my dean then, Professor Nasirudeen Mohammed Baba, have mentored me in a part of leadership which has propelled me even out of this school, even in the state and national level to this very day. To celebrate this gentleman standing beside me, because I once promised him that the day he does his inaugural lecture is the very day I'm going to refer to him as a professor. This happens because my Vice Chancellor seated here in the 38th inaugural lecture of Professor Mekano Mohammed Ari in Nasarawa State University, he made a comment which says, you are confirmed a professor you will be a confirmed professor when you have done your inaugural lecture, and thank God he repeats the same statement standing here today. On behalf of my family, and due to time I cannot read what is here, but my family, this is their congratulatory message to you, and we wish you all the best in your academic careers.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. That's all. I would like to invite Aisha Nasirudeen for the good to vote of thanks on behalf of the family.
Your Excellencies, Royal Fathers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. It is an honor to be standing in front of greatness today and to speak about greatness. And today, greatness was the face of a man. Through this journey, I do hope through this journey, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you success, and may you strive to become a better person, a better version of yourself. May Allah guide you through the road. And my teacher always tells me this, that the sky is not just your limit, it is the starting point. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you. To cut the long speech short, we call him Mr. No Nonsense Man. And so on behalf of the entire family, Mr. Protocol, congratulations. Thank you very much, the management of the university, Your Excellency, the Vice Chancellor, and the respective guests, the respective council of the university. Thank you for this this inaugural speech, inaugural lecture. Thank you very much for. It is an honor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aisha. I appreciate you. Before the Vice Chancellor gives the closing remarks, we like to invite for announcement the Head of the Department, Plant Science and Biotechnology, Dr. Kana.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, DVCs here present, our Royal Father, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, professors here all present. I'm just here to advertise this space, even though my Professor Kondu, appreciated the Vice Chancellor. I still want to appreciate him for making this place viable for us, not just the human being, but the plant as well. So I want to advertise inviting professors that haven't done their inaugural lectures, those yet to do, the incoming professors too as well. Any other person that feels that this place is conducive to have an occasion, you are invited. You're only to pay just a little talking. Thank you.
Indeed, the place is conducive, very conducive for every event. And the information directorate is also here to support you at any time you want to have a function here. On this note, I would like to invite for the closing remarks the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Shehu Abdul Rahman.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to yarn. No, thank you. Our royal father here, other invited guests, on behalf of the university management, I welcome all of us to this inaugural lecture of today, and to use this opportunity to also congratulate Professor Nasirudeen Baba, and to say that for professors, once you are announced as professor, there are certain things you need to do for people to know that you are a renowned professor. The first is the inaugural lecture. Because when you deliver your inaugural lecture, you have established your professorship. You have told the public how you made the journey to that rank, which is very, very important. And to let Professor Nasirudeen knows that you still have a lot of opportunity to be celebrated like this. And for you to be celebrated like this, you need to also engage your professorship in services. When you engage your professorship in services, you can make yourself distinguished. And while you are in service, you can still be called distinguished professor. And you can be celebrated for being referred to as distinguished professor. In fact, we have presented a guideline in our Senate on how we want to be appointing distinguished professors in Federal University of Lafia. And by the time you retire, your footprint while in service, if you show that distinction again, by the time you retire, the university can still invite you and give you Professor Emeritus. So you can see that with your professorship, when you engage it properly in service, you still have two different honors: distinguished professor and emeritus professor. And to also let you know that this your professorship need to be engaged in mentorship, because the younger ones are coming, and this is opportunity for you to make yourself available to the younger ones. And I want to be happy to note that a lot of your mentees are even here. you need to add more numbers of the mentees. So engage your professorship in mentorship. You have to also engage it in leadership. And for you to engage your professorship in leadership, please don't restrict to your knowledge of chemistry alone. Don't restrict it to knowledge of chemistry alone. Because for any leader to be successful, you need knowledge, you need social skills, you need character, and you need wisdom. And you can know the social skill, the character, and wisdom. They are not taught in the class. You have to train yourself to acquire those ones so that you can become effective leaders. So, and as a professor, this is the best opportunity for you to develop yourself, to imbue in yourself the capacity and character that will make you effective leader. So I want to once again use the opportunity to congratulate you, to congratulate your family, and from the small girl that talk here, I've seen a sign of so many professors in your family already. So I wish them the best and brighter future. Thank you very much. I wish all of you safe journey to your various destinations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we would have loved to take more messages from friends and well-wishers. Unfortunately, time is not our friend. And with the Vice Chancellor's closing remarks, we have come to the end of this memorable event.
So far, so good. I'm the very happiest man on earth. Yesterday, by this time, I was feverish. I have to come to the clinic to even have 1 jab of injection. But Alhamdulillah, as things goes on, it's something that I have worked for years, and I took it as just like a child's play. The anxiety of how to gather people like this and to disperse them. So for now, Alhamdulillah, I am very much okay, and I'm very happy.
All right. So you discussed on energy and chemicals today.
Yes.
To a layman understanding, can you break these terms to their level?
All right. To a layman, we said energy is the ability to do work. We as human beings, we have an economy. Without an energy, do you think the economy can work? The economy cannot work. Therefore, to a layman, energy is vital for every living soul on earth. 2, chemicals, industrial chemicals. We believe in industry. We supposed to be utilizing the industrial chemicals. As a chemist, the clothes I'm wearing, without the technology, the art of cotton and dyeing, the art of chemical transformation, I wouldn't wear the cloth. When you look at the dark ages, people are moving naked. But when civilization comes, definitely they make utilization of chemicals. The drugs we are taking, you can go to the hospital, it's been a component of what? A chemical. So we need an industrial chemicals in which to drive the industrial economy. We rely on an imported good. Why? We have the natural resources. It is West. We can develop those chemicals from the West product that we discarded it. Even the food waste that we throw away, we can be able to extract some of the chemicals. I have told you my future research is to what? Developed a particular chemicals from what? Orange peels, West. They throw it away, but you can extract it. You can extract so many components like limonene, like plastic, I have told you today, like plastics. You can be able to synthesize it from that.
So how do you intend to achieve this in your future research, just as you have said?
We intend to achieve with intense collaborations, with sources of funding, and finally, with the support of all the stakeholders, we can be able to achieve in not distant time.
Can you please share with us what are the importance of this dirty stone to mankind?
The importance of this dirty stone, I've told you right from the word go. Before the civil war, Nigerian government are what? Using coal for what? Firing of the king. Now they ask us to abandon the use of the coal because of what? The global warming. But the West now, particularly the Americans and then the Chinese, they are still stockpiling these products. Why are we discarding our own? Let us utilize it. I've told you We can remedy this by what? Briquetting technology and by carbon capture and storage.
All right, before we let you go, sir, can we say that the energy value and the keystone is very, very essential to mankind?
It is essential to mankind because you cannot survive without energy. What is happening now? We have energy crisis. Everywhere is globally. If there is war, they will be telling you how can we remedy our energy crisis, our energy sector. Everything is about energy sector. I have told you in the lecture, if you do not eat, what did food gives you in your body? It's energy. If you do not eat, you cannot perform optimally. So it is something with this every sector of the economy, the industry, and everything. They cannot perform optimally.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nice having you.
You too.
On behalf of the Lafia Bulletin crew, we want to say big congratulations, Prof.
Thank you very much.
And we pray that you excel in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.